Hello, this is Eric Neese, and if you're here looking for Alexandra and Nick, you are in the right place for today's session. Today's session to talk about some of the 6 steps to effortless sales. And as I introduced the call yesterday, I mentioned, as for those of you who were there with us, that I am a huge fan and very thankful for all that Alexandra has helped and provided in my life since I became acquainted with TIR. And love working with Nick and his positive attitude as well to help, in particular, with that role of sales. But I think the question might come up for you, well, why are you so enthusiastic? What have you gotten out of it? And yesterday I mentioned that it helped me give a quantum leap in my own personal performance, and I'll be forever grateful for that. But what originally captivated me and what originally got me into it before, just to get involved and sign up for the program and get started. Well, my father, not to brag on him too much, but back in the 60s, when IBM was a thing, I mentioned to my kids, his grandchildren, that my dad worked for IBM. Not only worked there, but he was IBM's #1 sales rep. And my kids said, "IBM, what's that?" I said, "Well, it's kind of like the modern day version of Google or Facebook." It was a big deal, IBM back then. Back in the day, it was a huge deal, as large as Dell or Hewlett Packard and larger. And it still is a huge deal of a company, but my father was IBM's #1 sales rep. And when I found out about this, I was sincerely impressed. And I said, "Well, you mean like in the office?" And he said, "No." And I'm like, "Well, in the region?" No. And it turns out he was IBM's #1 sales rep, not just 1 year, but 3 years in a row. And what's really kind of interesting about that is he is the antithesis of what you might call the stereotypical sales rep. He is very low key, and effectively what he does is help people buy. And I think, as Nick related to us yesterday, this ability to relate to people, get comfortable with them, and walk them through the process is really, and that would be another story about how he did that. But what was impressive with me is he went on to start his own business and went forward and has spent really the last 10 to 15 years documenting all these things that helped him grow and become so engaged in sales, engaged in success with that, and documented that for the employees of his company. So, he documented all that mentality, and he is a contemporary of this mindset of all these materials that are brought to us through thinking into results. And he has been a huge beneficiary of that. Sorry, my screen just left. Sorry. So it was, he's been a huge beneficiary of that. So very much like what I would say is like a chef. He has been a fine chef, and he has been able to utilize a lot of the resources, the fruits, the vegetables, the chicken, the meat, and so forth. But what he has done in his later years is he's gone on to build a lot of these tools and share them with his employees, but only for his employees and productively for his employees. But that down gets into for him, it's like sort of raising your own cattle or growing your own vegetables in order to provide for your restaurant. I think what we have here is what we see for all of those of us who are engaged in sales or engaged in entrepreneurial success or in building our own business. Working with someone like Nick can help us learn the finer arts of sales, and learning the tools that are now available from thinking into results. Give us all the tools that I know that were exactly those same tools that I grew up with, which were indoctrinated in me from my father. So why did I get them from my father? Well, because they're just his, and they're for his employees, and they're written at a more theoretical level. But what we have here in TIR is some exact lesson plans and exactly what we can do to grow our sales and to grow ourselves and our personal success. And so that's really cool. And I think that what we see here is Nick and Alexandra embrace and embody with all that. So that is why I am so bullish, because I know that it has everything that's here delivers the recipes and the keys and the materials and the ingredients for success. We just apply them. The ingredients are there once we get access to them through Alexandra and Nick. So with that, I will turn it over to you and welcome everybody to the session.
Oh, hi. Thanks, Eric. Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. Eric, well, impressive, very impressive story, your dad's story, and I love this. Last time you talked about this, and I really was impressed, and I'm impressed again. It was great, great story. Listen, guys, it's day 5. So say hello in the chat box. I hope you're doing well. If you're in the UK, weather's turning a little bit dull at the moment, so stay tuned and we will give you some incredible information. For now, what I would like to do is to do a little bit of a recap of day 4. That was yesterday. What did we talk about yesterday? Well, we talked about quantum leaps. You have to do something different. You have to engage with the scientific process to take your results to where it's never been before. You must change the way you do things. You must get out of your comfort zone. We looked at that comfort zone chart in order for you to grow, in order for you to change your result positively. Visualize your results is one of the things that we discussed yesterday. Internalize that result, be one with it in order for you to achieve it. Give order and direction to your mind, and that's just not your mind as in your conscious mind, but your actual subconscious mind, because that's where our paradigm resides. Everything you focus on, as Alex touched on yesterday, the more you use your imagination, whatever you're thinking about will expand. So you're giving it energy. We have a lot to cover today, guys. So without further ado, I will let Alex take it away with the 6 steps to effortless sales. And I'll catch up with you later. Alex, take it away.
Thank you very much, Nick, and thank you very much, Eric. And today we have some incredible information to share with you. These 6 steps can literally change the outcome of your presentation, sales presentation. When you shift your perception and when you apply these next 6 steps into your presentation, we can guarantee you that your sales results will change. It will definitely bring you better results, better satisfaction, more income, and reward. So now I'm just getting some information. Just one second. We are not live on Facebook. Okay, so let's see if we have some technicalities we can solve. So, okay, guys, so what we're going to do, if you just give us 2 seconds, please, we will come back to you. So we have to double check we are present. Nick, can you hear me? So we're not.
Yeah, I can hear you, Alex. I don't think we're live because there's nobody on the chat, and I can't see on Facebook. I'm looking at Facebook now, and and Aldona says to me she can't see anything there, so it's not. We're not live yet.
Okay, so what we have to do, I believe we have to just fix it quickly. So let us give you 1 minute of countdown and we'll try to fix it, guys. So we shall be back with you shortly.